We'll go ahead and get started with Houston. Go ahead and give us a market update.
Perfect. Oh, no, it has the slide on the other.
Just the clicker.
That's all I need right there. Perfect. Hi, my name is Houston Garrett. I'm an agent at Keller Williams. Help people buy and sell real estate, and this is just give like a market update comparing last year market numbers to this year. And so this is just comparing December of 2024 to December of last year, because the numbers from December are in, not all the closings were not through January of this year. So this kind of gives you an idea of lat 24 compared to December of this past year. So the numbers are a lot better. It almost looks like we almost had the exact same year when I looked at the whole year compared to, but all the things you want to see in the market getting better, as far as you have an increased amount of sales in December from last December. You had more under contract. You had a lower supply of inventory compared to last December. You had the median list price was actually lower than last year, which tells you that people were getting more realistic on their price. And the sold price was higher than it was last December in 24. So those are all things that the market is slightly better December of last year than it was December of 24. So, and then it really, when you look at it, the two best times Lubbock historically to sell would be December, oddly enough, and their next best time is May. So that's when the two hot months. And obviously summer picks up when people are moving, but December and May are really good.
You talking about the number of closings?
Number of closings and the amount of, so like November of 2025, we had 5 months of inventory. So we had a lot of inventory sitting out there, and we had a lot of sales that happened we had less people listing their house in December than in November. So that inventory kind of stayed on the market, and then we had the same amount of sales, and so that sucked up the inventory. So you're not competing against all these new listings going on the market. So May is also that good time when people put on, there's a drop of the amount of people are just getting their house ready to be put on in the summer, and so they're kind of holding off. And so that inventory, if you're on the market in May, kind of the same effect happens. Your less inventory goes on the market, and the old one gets kind of eaten up. So if you're selling, those are two good times to sell. Yeah. Any questions?
So really it'd be April, right? You put your house on the market in April,
Yeah.
closing
Yeah.
May.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for the
Thanks.
update.
Yeah.
All right, so we got some exciting news. Aaron has been working behind the scenes. The Lubbock REIA is changing online. And so we are developing an app. The app is already made. We just got to get it approved, all the approval process to get it on the App Store. And so it's going to be free to download. And so we're going to have an app soon with built-in calculators. All of our sponsors will be on there, and all of our events, and so you get like notifications from the app when the next event is. So keep an eye out for that. It's going to make everything so much easier to access what we do here at the Lubbock REIA. And the calculators are going to be awesome. And so not only can you just do it right in the app, but it also saves. And so you can save your calculators as far as like repair cost, like a rental analysis, a flip analysis. I feel like we're missing one, DSCR for your lender. And so it's going to be very powerful for that.
The rehab budget's gonna be super cool.
Yep.
You can access it now too at the website.
Yeah, if you go to LubbockREIA.com, you can access all of this right now. It's just the app version is still pending. And so the app version will be live, I don't know,
Hopefully it's not.
whenever we get all the approvals from the app stores. And so completely free, Not only that, it will have access to our sponsors, and we have 2 sponsors here today, and I would love for them to get up and introduce themselves. So, I guess we'll start. I can't hear you.
Channing Johnson and I'm Johnson Roofing.
So what do you do?
When it comes to roofing, we do everything, commercial, residential. We also replace windows, metal siding, turnkey, and we will be putting some special pricing in for anybody that calls us from this group. And we also offer financing.
I'm Brooke Jones. Me and my parents own Nugent Mechanical Contractors. We do all things HVAC, residential and commercial, repairs, new installs, whatever you may need to get you some heat or cool, whatever season we're in. We do offer a 10% discount on anything through the Lubbock REIA, whether that is repairs or a new install. Yeah, we'd love to have some business from you guys. Thank you.
So last year, we rolled out the nice metal cards to be a Lubbock VIP member to get the discount. Well, that went away. So everyone can get the discount this time. And all of our discounts are also displayed on our website. If you can't remember who all of our sponsors are and who to call and what discounts you get, it's all on there. So, any questions over that? Okay. All right, Joe. Maybe you.
So we were sitting around last year trying to come
Pull
up
another
with meeting topics for the REIA, and then we just started talking. We have a few other ideas for the upcoming months, but Wendell started talking about these floating floors. I was like, I know about floating floors. I said, no, these are different. They're a combination between floating and glue down. He explained it. What do you call them?
Loose lay.
Loose lay floors. So they're different. So I thought, man, I never heard about that. We do stuff all the time, and I've never heard of it. So we came up with the idea of stuff that we can use for rehabs that makes sense, stuff you may not know about. There's a ton of knowledge in this room, but we want to cover a few things that we use ourselves that we can say it works. And then I went a little crazy about one idea I had was the closets, where you have the pull down light, and sometimes the chain's broken, sometimes there's a shoelace. There you go. Shoelaces aren't just for shoes. So it's just, those lights are just horrendous. So before there wasn't really a good solution for it because it's hardwired, there's not a switch. So, but now, you can buy a $12, however much it costs, motion detector light and replace it. It's super easy to replace it. And you can set it, different brightness, how long it stays on. But now when you walk into one of these closets, instead of being dark, whether you're showing it for selling it or showing it to rent it out, it lights up and it's real bright and it's real positive. Lighting is very important when you're trying to sell a house or trying to rent out a house. It just makes a big difference. And it's very cost effective. This costs the same as replacing it. If that thing's broken, it costs the same thing, $12, give or take a couple bucks. You can get different sizes, depending on the size of the closet. Hit the slide.
How many of y'all are still using shoelaces? See them all the time.
It's hardwired. Don't buy the battery. Don't buy, it's just not worth it. They're not very bright most of the time. And then if
So where do you get those?
I buy these off of Amazon. I buy the multi-packs most of the time. You can buy them at Home Depot as well. They cost more at Home Depot. But yeah, you can buy them off of Amazon, 2-day delivery. It's pretty easy. So you can buy a whole bunch of them. I did buy a whole bunch of them. I got a little carried away, bought way too many of them. So we're set for the next few properties. But yeah, underline hardwired because it's very important. The battery ones are garbage, so don't even mess with those. And there's a lot of other options for lighting too, or a lot of, you can put this in the laundry room, a lot of different spots you can use it in. Right here.
Hey, Joe, how long does that stay on?
You can set it, so it's got 30 seconds, 2 minutes, or 3 minutes. And you can have there's other settings you can do. There's brightness too, you can change on the back, 3,000, 4,000, or 6,000. I always try to buy the LED lights that have the option of brightness, just so if you don't have the option, you can make all the lights match when you're, adjusting them. So Kevin, my business partner, he likes it all the way white, which is too white for me. I like the second white setting, normally about 4,000 K. He likes 5,000 K. It's just, everybody's got a different opinion, but all the lighting, all the LED lights now look way better than the old soft white incandescent lights. So, and it makes it look a lot better.
Little pro tip based on what I was talking about, your lighting color, make them all match.
Yes.
How many times do y'all walk into a property and they have like mismatched light bulbs, like different warmth levels, like this one's yellow, this one's white, it just kills it. And so go with
I do about 4,000.
5,000, I like 5,000.
So yeah,
So
it's too white.
4 to 5,000, the brighter the better. That's my opinion.
So yeah, one other cool option on most properties, you can change the lighting up in living room or the bedrooms. We've done this on multiple properties. Instead of an old just single light, you can put in the recessed lighting. It's very affordable. Let me show you what it looks like. The kind that we use is pretty simple. It attaches to the sheetrock, so you can put the holes almost anywhere you want. Spacing wise, I'm sure there's a rule of thumb. We kind of go right there, and kind of make it symmetrical. So about 6 feet off the wall is about what we do. Javen, what do y'all do?
We'll do it, just depends on the size of the room, but in a larger room, like if we're at, 14 by 14 or larger, we're gonna come off the corners at least 6 foot. That way we're getting as much brightness in the middle of the room as we can. Most of the time we're installing a ceiling fan, in a central location for airflow, but it doesn't typically have a lighting fixture associated with it. So we'll typically go with a 6-inch versus a 4-inch, no matter the size of the room. To Wendell's point, we're trying to brighten everything up. And our go-tos are always living room, kitchen, and master bedroom, typically. And then I call them blue lights, the little, which you have on the left. We replace all of those in hallways, entryways, everything with recesses typically.
Yeah, just summary, guys. Recessed lighting is actually not that expensive, and doing lighting upgrades in your properties is so valuable.
Paint and lightings are great bang for your buck. I mean, it's really good. And this one, not all of them have it, but this one also has an adjustable on the Kelvin, I think is what it stands for, the warmth of the light. So you can make it too bright at 5,000, you can do it right at 4,000. So.
To Wendell's point, if you guys will buy those by the 100 or 200, I promise you'll run through them. Yeah, we pick them up for like $4 a unit versus if you go to Home Depot and try to buy it, you're going to be paying.
I was about to say, you can order these in bulk. You can order those in
all
bulk.
those things. The brand doesn't really matter. The little clip in, or even the retrofit, I'll do the retrofit sometime if we have a cam light, so I'm not having to do anything with sheetrock.
Did you buy yours off of Amazon?
I source mine out of China. From Amazon, I think we pay like 89 cents a unit.
Yeah, it's amazing. Once you start putting them in, you just start putting a lot of it in, and they like he said, they start adding up. We have an Amazon business account, and you can buy a lot of bulk stuff, and it's reasonable priced.
Is there a particular brand you're buying?
Yeah.
You can literally go to Amazon, type in recessed lighting, and there'd be 1,000. And you can buy them in bulk, and you definitely go in bulk because, in one bedroom you're going to use at least 4, and then the kitchen, and you'll just start going through them real quick.
So the old recess lighting, you had to be right next to a stud to attach and put a box and all the fun stuff. These you don't, you can cut a hole anywhere within reason. So the issue, then obviously you have to run the wires, so you need to make sure it's like a Dolly Mac house may be a little bit more trouble to run these lights, but most houses it's not too hard.
All right, ceiling fans. I still walk properties today and there's no ceiling fans in the bedrooms. We live in Lubbock, Texas. It gets so hot here. And so please install ceiling fans. But when you do, we do prefer some over others. One, a ceiling hugger, like really tight to the ceiling. Joe's pretty tall, and so he's tired of getting knocked out by ceiling fans. It also kind of makes the room a little bit bigger once you really suck them up to as high as they can go. And some ceiling fans have the built-in LED light. I don't recommend those because if it goes bad, you have to replace the whole thing. You can't usually find parts for them. So we still do the ones where you can screw in a light bulb. It just, as a rental property per se, I would do the screw-in light bulbs. If you're doing a flip, maybe it won't matter as much. But if it has the built-in LED, if it goes out, good luck getting a replacement.
And on these two pictures, one shows just a flush mount, which is, as he said, the way to go. And then to have direct light from the light bulbs that hits the wall. There's other ones that shine the light up, and those just don't provide enough light typically.
Or if you do recessed lighting in a bedroom, you can do like one at each corner, and then your ceiling fan can just be just a ceiling fan with no lights. All right, blinds.
Yeah. So on some properties, mini blinds are fine, on rentals especially. When you start trying to spruce up a property, a lot of times you don't want to spend money on windows. Windows are very expensive. If you have to replace all the windows in the house, it'd be several $1,000s typically. What I've done on some of my properties, for example, in the medical district, they have the old single pane windows, and they're nice, but putting 2-inch faux wood blinds on it is the route I go. I measure them and then buy them off the internet. I typically try 4 different sites, see who's running the best deal. I've used American Blinds the last few times just for the best deal they've done. They've got to me in less than a week. It's amazing how they do that, but they make them custom sized, and then they're very easy to install. And when you put them up, they just make the window look newer. Just the 2-inch faux wood blinds. They last longer. They're easier to clean. They're ballpark $50 a window. Just depends on the size of the window, obviously. So it makes a big difference.
There is probably a price point that where you would go for the cheaper mini blinds, and then versus going with the 2-inch blinds. The mini blinds are getting a little bit more and more expensive, so that price gap is kind of narrowing in my opinion, but I would probably say on a rental property, you can probably get away with mini blinds, but if you want it to really pop and just look a little bit better, go with the nicer blinds. It does make a big difference, and they're not that much more. Oh yeah, mini splits. How many of y'all are installing mini splits? How many of y'all are installing mini splits for the entire property? Okay.
Can I speak on that? Can I speak on that?
Yes.
Mini
Okay.
splits are a disposable product.
Coming from the AC
So they
company.
work well for shops, things that aren't a whole space. We do not recommend doing a whole house in mini splits. It's more costly than just putting in a builder grade air conditioner. From what we've seen, and like I said, they're disposable, so they don't have as good as warranty. They're gonna go out faster. Parts are harder to come by. If you're ordering it off Amazon or from China and it has a warranty, there's no warranty department to call to get those parts. So if you do use a mini split, we recommend calling a reputable company, whether it's us or someone else that has a license that can actually get warranty parts for these mini splits. They are a great product, but they are disposable.
So the reason we have this slide up is to share information, but we use mini splits on, for example, this is a sunroom. So it didn't have ducting already, but you need to heat and cool it. So for it to be counted as square footage on the appraisal, it has to be heated and cooled. So we recently put one in the sunroom, and it works great. It just in certain circumstances you need to use them.
Some places that aren't used all the time. Like a
If-
sunroom, you're not in there 24/7.
If the house can fit a regular AC system, we highly recommend you go with an AC system. It's gonna be just better. I know difference of opinions.
No, I'm with you on the houses. I run mine on apartments, like 600 square foot studio.
Okay, use them for what they're intended for. Use mini splits for what they're intended for. I see so many times, like a whole house, instead of replacing the HVAC system, they put 3 or 4 of those, which cost more than the HVAC system. And now if you shut one bedroom or the other, the rest of the house doesn't get cool, it's a hot mess. It is a waste of money. And on the rental side, tenants don't like it. It's a pain in the butt. And then if you try to sell it, it's the same story. Use them how they're intended, not for the entire house. Unless a 600 efficiency, perfect. Yeah. Here's a cheap upgrade. Cheap upgrade. Just updating the hardware throughout your property makes a big difference. Between paint, lighting, and hardware, we'll have some more examples. It makes a huge difference. The old brass is, in my opinion, it's out. I know gold's coming back in. No. I know people like it. I can't stand it. You got brushed nickel, which is Joe's favorite, which is boring. I like black. Black is cool. So you can be boring like Joe or cool like me. So
Just make sure your color is consistent throughout the house.
yeah, be consistent at least. Yes.
The price range matters, so one of the things my team will do is every 90 days we'll pull all the sold listings, and I have a virtual assistant that'll go through and by price range, categorize what's sold, and then rank it by how many days on market it took to sell. And you'll see that anything selling under about $185,000, they seem to prefer that brushed nickel. Above that, it seems to be a black and gold combo, where we're seeing black hardware paired with gold fixtures and faucets. That's really stealing the show. And you'll see over time, if you track that data over time, there's a trickle-down effect to where pretty soon we're going to see the black and gold in the lower price range become predominant.
It
Chrome
switches
is
all the
phased
time.
out. We're going to see brushed nickel shift into the chrome position. If you get under 100,000, everything's chrome. And so, but not that I'm kind of a data nerd when it comes to nuancing things like this. But I'm with you with a lot.
So these black and gold together?
They're using black hardware paired with gold fixtures and gold faucets.
Yeah.
Now, if it's like a bathroom vanity, there's still, they're going to go with gold pulls there, but things like doorknobs, oftentimes cabinet pulls.
You'll see that, but those are higher end listings.
Anything
usually.
over
Probably
over
200,000.
200,000, you
Yeah.
can see that.
Yeah, you'll start seeing that.
Yeah. It was, at first we were seeing it in like 350 plus range.
It's coming
Seems
down.
to be dictated by the Parade of Homes. Whatever the parade does, 2 years later, it trickles down. And so now we're seeing it just shift. It was at one time softly just the matte gold everywhere. And now people are doing away with the matte gold hardware on knobs and going back to the black with their leading fixtures.
I need to start going to the.
Either way, get them all matching. Here's just this is doors.
Doors, yeah. So, all these older houses built in the 60s, 70s, 80s will be just a flat door, just a basic slab. You can buy a 6-panel door. There's all sorts of upgraded doors you can do depending on your style that you can do to replace the interior doors with these, for example, a 6-panel door. If you do a really old house, like built in the 1930s, probably not do these 6-panel doors because the doors might be different sizes and
They're solid.
they're solid. It's a different type of door, but stuff built in the 60s to modern day or till 2000s.
I personally don't like the 6-panel doors shown in this photo, but it's to show an example. It's better than that old plain door. But if you go to like Home Depot, they have different styles that you can get. They're all the same price. This is a cheap upgrade, and it makes a huge difference.
I did a house one time where I had a really strict budget, and instead of replacing all the doors, we had those basic hollow core doors like that. We just took some like lattice strips and created double squares, top and bottom. Super, blue and some
Great
red
idea.
nailers, and then
Yep.
we painted it. and it gave it kind of it gave it that paneled look in a way.
That's a
And
great
it's
idea.
Extremely cheap.
Just a plain door is boring, and doors are cheap.
You say you just glued it?
Brad nailed it included, and then painted over that. Probably, I think we took a little bit of caulk and just kind of ran around the edges. I mean, you can't even tell like that the door wasn't built like that. It turned out really well.
That's
honestly.
interesting. It's a great idea.
That is a good idea. Cabinet pulls, again, just go into your hardware. This is an easy upgrade as well. There's so many options. You can get these cheap. You can buy them in bulk. Amazon is your friend here. And so just match it to your other hardware. And kind of like what Javen was saying earlier, you can kind of like do the gold on the faucets. I'm still not, it's okay. It's okay. I just prefer all black. That's just me. So.
If you're keeping the same cabinets and just replacing the pulls, make sure you measure the pulls before you go out and buy a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, they are different size pulls, so you need to measure the holes, like how far apart they are. Yeah, backsplash. I can go multiple ways here on backsplash, but there's usually, when you're doing a flip or a rental property, most properties don't have a backsplash usually, and so just installing something will definitely set it apart. I do think subway tile is out. Everyone used it. It's not popular anymore. To me, it's still better than nothing. But I would probably not recommend like a subway tile backsplash. Wouldn't you agree? It's just kind of.
I don't use it, I hate subway tile.
I know, exactly.
It's just
It's
a
out.
personal thing.
It's out. You can get pretty cheap backsplash. Almost, they even make stickers, guys, where they just stick on. I don't recommend that, but at least it looks nicer.
You got plenty of options under $2 a foot.
Yeah.
You've got stone options, you've got slate options, you've got textured tiles, you've got color tiles. You pretty much got whatever you need in that range.
Don't recommend the stick on, but that is an option, and just don't do subway tile. It's overused. Countertops. And so countertops can get kind of expensive. An easy solution that is actually very popular is still bringing this wood out. So doing like a butcher block countertop is super effective in my opinion. And it's fairly cheap. You can easily just pick these up at Home Depot. They sell them in, I don't even remember, 4x8 slabs. I don't remember what they are. You just seal them and they work and look really, really good. So the brown colors are coming back into trend, I guess you could say. The cream colors, the brown colors, and so this wood color right now is actually pretty popular. Of course, you can do other countertops as well. Those usually just get more expensive. I think this is a cheap alternative that still looks really well. Any comments?
Yeah, there's a million options on countertops. You can put epoxy on an existing one. It just depends if you're doing a rental and then what level, and then if you're trying to flip it and what level too. So, what do y'all do, Jay?
My granite records everything. I feel like the countertop's a status symbol in the house, and so even if I'm sub 100,000, I'll put my money into the kitchens and the bathrooms, which is not.
I can't argue against granite or quartz, honestly. I can't argue. This is just a way cheaper option. In my opinion, it's a nice upgrade over the standard Formica. So it's a cheap, easy solution that looks better than what was probably there.
How do they last in a rental?
You just seal them.
They don't beat them up very much.
It's no different than granite. You gotta go seal your granite countertops.
Yeah.
This one we're really kind of an accent wall. We're not necessarily saying that you need to do a design on the wall. Just paint a wall a different color. It makes it pop. And so it's a cheap solution there, just to add something a little bit more. If you wanted to do a design, great. It doesn't have to be fancy. It can be simple like this photo, or even more simpler, honestly, if you wanted to. Just an accent wall is a great option out there. This one I highly recommend most people do. If you're ripping up the flooring and or doing baseboards, don't buy those small baseboards. You want to do like a 1x4 or 1x6 as a baseboard all the way around. Make them taller. It makes a big difference. It just looks better. Has anyone done that? Yeah. And so I would probably recommend like a 1x6, and then once you go around the door, you can go down to like a 1x4. That's just my recommendation. What do you normally use?
I rip empty up, so I'm doing exactly the same thing you're doing. I just
Same.
buy the sheet and then rip it down to save the cost.
Yep, same thing. Just don't go in and just replace baseboards if everything else is fine, but if you're definitely doing flooring, it's a great touch. Wallpaper, it's coming back into style, I know. No, I can't get on board. I just can't do it. Easy solution, you can paint wallpaper and it's fine. And so this is just an example of the same property, one with wallpaper and one painted. It does make a difference in my opinion. I can't get on that hype train. So.
And there's some textured wallpaper, all sorts of fancy wallpaper, very expensive wallpaper. And some are.
Do y'all do like the Print of Homes? Does everyone just go just for fun? I mean, I go. I mean, that's where I get a lot of my ideas. And they brought wallpaper back, and it's terrible. It's like the ugliest colors and the weirdest designs. It's just like, why would they even do this? I don't know. It's just, that's just my opinion.
If you have some nasty wallpaper and you don't feel like ripping out the drywall behind it, but you don't want to see the seams, the trick is oil-based primer, either Kiehl's Original One or sensors. Do a real light coat, it'll harden that wallpaper so it doesn't bubble on you. And then you can just do a real light skin coat and texture over it, look just like drywall, but you won't have the lines in between, and you won't. If you ever try texturing over wallpaper without putting an oil-based coat on it to harden it, you'll notice bubbles. You can run your hand along it, that'll solve your problem. It's the fastest way to do that.
Flooring here, as I was mentioning earlier, there's a newer product out on the market. It just makes things a little bit easier. It's called loose lay vinyl flooring. You don't glue it down, you don't snap it together. It looks like a vinyl plank, and it has like felt feet on the bottom all the way down, and when you lay it down, it creates enough friction, it doesn't move. And so if you have like on rental properties, like if you had like a slap leak, you don't have to bust up all your flooring, you literally just peel it up, then bust the concrete, fix it, and then you lay your flooring right back down. And so it makes like future repairs super easy, convenient. It's called loose lay. That's what I'm using on all my properties. It's a little bit more than glue down vinyl plank, but your labor's cheaper because you don't have to, you just lay it down, done.
What's your price per square foot on that window?
$254, $280 between there per square foot.
You don't have a problem with it coming out?
It just lays there. It's completely waterproof. It's way thicker as well. Your glue down is paper thin. You can glue it all on here and it still feels like you're walking on concrete. This is thicker, so you get a little bit more of a cushion, and it's completely waterproof. If it ever gets damaged, you literally just peel it up and and you put a new plank down.
I remember you talking about this last year. You've been using it since then?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you're sourcing it.
Yates and Casey Pepper one had it.
You put it in bathrooms, kitchen.
Yep, throughout the whole house. I just sold one last week. We ran the numbers on it. I don't know if anyone was here. We did an example. It closed last week, and I did loose light throughout the whole property. Did you go walk it? I told you to go walk it.
No, I didn't walk it.
How does it perform on pier D subfloor?
So you still need it kind of level a little bit, but not as much because it's way thicker, and so it'll kind of hide it a little bit better, but you still need it somewhat level.
Is it flexible at all?
Oh yeah, it's flexible.
Okay.
So do the seams butt, or do you still have to lock?
Nope, just butt up to each other.
I have a hard time visualizing this. I'm gonna go buy some and just try it.
Yeah, I tried to bring some examples, and I just didn't. I asked for examples and I couldn't get them, let's put it that way. But once you place enough of them back to back, there's nowhere for it to move. And so it just stays put. So it's just way easier.
And you glue the edges, so that's what keeps it all together.
So I don't glue mine. I don't. And you can though, to kind of lock it into place.
Yeah.
But I don't glue mine, but that's a different story. Most places will tell you to glue around the perimeter around the walls, so it just kind of locks it in place. I just don't, because to me, you don't need it. It stays put. It's cheaper than snap together. It's a little bit more expensive than glue down. However, how many of y'all have had issues with glue down, with it popping, coming up? Have y'all seen that? It's very common. It's a moisture problem and a temperature problem. And they're just now getting the glue good enough to where it can withstand that. But there's just so much issues. If you don't use the right glue, that stuff will never last here. So, to me, it's a better option. As far as like updating your hardware, another cheap solution is updating all your outlets. Get away from the almond color and just go all white. It's a simple upgrade. It takes a little bit of time just because you have to replace so many outlets and switches, but just take them all white. Don't paint them. It's cheap, guys. Don't do it. It looks cheap. It feels cheap. Just replace them. It's not that expensive. They even make covers that are like plastic. You can like screw them on over it, and it looks better than just painting them. But don't do that either. It's pretty cheap too. Going back to our faucets, we kind of already talked about this. And so upgrade your faucets. Kitchen, do we have a kitchen one on here? No. Simple, easy solution. Upgrade faucets. Don't go with the cheap ones that actually look and feel plastic. Those never last. Those always break, and they cause, actually, in my opinion, more damage down the road, especially on a rental, than a nicer metal, brass, something. Don't go with the cheap plastic ones. They always break and end up flooding.
And the ones where you touch, those have troubles a lot of times.
Yeah, don't do the fancy electronic ones. It's just more shit to go wrong. Okay. However, like in the kitchen, you want something like that's a little bit taller. You know, don't get the ones where you can't fit anything underneath it. Get something that's higher up, taller. You can get a nice faucet for $100. Don't cheap out there. An easy solution instead of replacing a tub is reglazing. If you have the budget, I do recommend that you replace the tub. However, reglazing a tub is come a long way, to the point to where I can actually highly recommend it at this point. It's probably 300-ish bucks to reglaze it properly, like a whole tub, versus replacing it. And so it's a good solution. You can take, I've seen pink tubs, blue tubs, green tubs, for 300 bucks, you can make it look brand new and white.
When you replace the guts on the showers, make sure in my opinion, especially if you're renting, you need to be using a Delta brand. They are the only local third-party commercial company that you can get the valves for. Going back to like 1980, you can still buy valves for those things. If you go with a Glacier Bay or Kohler or, God forbid, an Amazon brand, every time that valve or prompt on that valve goes out, you're replacing the whole thing.
That's a high-level pro tip. If you're doing plumbing stuff here, do all Delta. Please, Delta, because it's the only parts that Lubbock has. He's exactly right. So if something breaks and you just need to, instead of replacing the whole faucet, it just needs a valve or like the internals, you can get those. It has to be Delta only, so just do Delta. My plumbers recommend Delta all the time. Don't do anything else, just Delta.
Just pay the cost difference. Yes, you can get it from China for 30 bucks. It's, don't do it. So 30 bucks for 30 days.
Does that make sense? Like, Delta's serviceable. And it's the only parts you can get here in Lubbock is Delta.
Yeah, I'm sure you can get it done cheaper, but whenever I install a shower screen for a customer, I charge $16.50. Just depending on the location of that shower valve, sometimes I can access it without tearing out the tile, sometimes I can't. So your $30 fix may cost you, $1,800 or more once you're done, versus just paying an extra $100 and get one that you can, anybody can swap. You can swap. If you're a plumber or not, you can swap it in 20 minutes or less.
That's a high-level pro tip. We call it that. Surrounds. I highly recommend that you do like a tile surround, if possible. It does make a big difference. I know sometimes the budget isn't there. They actually have some pretty nice tub surrounds kits that you can buy today. On top of that, do we have it on here? Yeah, we do. Don't buy the $150 special tub from Home Depot. That is a piece of junk. No one can fit in it. That 2-year-old is the only one that can bathe in it. And so spend a little bit extra when you replace the tub, something that's deeper. So if you have someone that likes to take baths, they can actually take a bath. And then when you do a surround, you can get some pretty nice surrounds, but I highly recommend that you do some type of tile. Doing a tile surround is not that much more than a surround kit. And so I recommend just going straight tile. Don't buy the cheap tubs. You see the difference there? You get in and it doesn't even go over your knees. And so I was like, what's... And they put those tubs in brand new construction. Do y'all see that? Or maybe y'all don't, but if you go walk a lot of new construction, it's the cheapest, most basic tub you can see, and it just breaks my heart. Just like, oh, you can't do anything with that tub. What am I looking at here? Painting the exterior? I forgot.
Shutters. Talk about shutters.
Oh, yeah. Shutters. Sorry. We talked about so much stuff today. A simple upgrade, you can add shutters to the exterior of your home next to the windows. I like to do cedar shutters. You can actually take like fence pickets and build you a shutter. Super cheap and affordable. Hell, if you're replacing a fence, use some of the old fence to make shutters. And so, super easy, makes a big difference. These are like, of course in this photo, you painted the house and then you added some black shutters, but it does make a big difference. I also like to do like the cedar post, like replace the post on the outside and just do cedar. It does make it look pretty nice, and we got kind of an example coming up on that. Front doors, I do like to spend a little bit extra on doors. Just the plain Jane steel doors that I see all the time, they're so boring and it doesn't look good. Your curb appeal is not there. And so these doors are not that much more. With some glass, some windows, a little bit of design to it, makes a big difference. Then paint it a different color, accent color. Not all white. I mean, can y'all see the difference there? It makes a huge difference. Here's an example of painting up. This is an actual property in Lubbock. It's not mine, but it is someone who took that example that I was talking about and ran with it. Painted the exterior and added cedar shutters. Y'all can't tell me that that doesn't look better. This is a lower end property. It's a rental, so it's not like high end, but it does make a big difference.
You want to talk about the picture on the right? How they got it? It's an AI picture.
Oh yeah.
The white one's an AI picture, so.
And so this customer used AI to render this, and then that's what he did to his property. So. Okay, that's all my recommendations and or suggestions.
I have one thing.
Yes.
You said replace this, you've replaced posts with cedar posts, I've capped posts with cedar before, and that's been super.
Yeah, you can do that too.
Really cheap.
Again, that wood color is coming back into style. Like when you're picking flooring and you do loose lay, don't go with the grays anymore, or the, in my opinion, like the really dark brown. You're looking for more of like a neutral brown. What?
Dirt. You want color dirt, so you can't see the dirt.
That's a good point, yeah. And so I call that neutral.
Yeah.
So go with like a natural cedar look. That's the color you want to go for. All right. So does anyone have any deals that you would like to talk about?
We got a question. What color y'all painting now? Y'all still doing a lot of gray? What's it kind of, what's
Technically, gray is out, though we're still using gray just because we have it, it's easy, but gray is technically out. It's going back towards the cream colors, the browns, some greens. Another option is, which I'm actually talking about, is we usually did like a light gray wall, almost kind of like what's in here right now, with some white trim all the way around. I'm just flipping it. White walls with gray trim. And so
We recently did a white on a slightly different white, like just whited out pretty much, and we got good reviews on that. But I don't know. You probably shouldn't be listening to me for the fashion.
another option is just spray everything white and do your accent colors like on the cabinets. That's another easy solution. It makes painting your property super fast and efficient. Just spray it all white. Ceiling, walls, baseboards, doors, everything. And then you do your accent colors maybe on one wall and your cabinets. That's also popular right now. Grays are kind of out. I still think it looks pretty nice, but that's me. All right, back to deals. Does anyone have a deal that they'd like to share?
We got one. It's a Dollar Mac house, 272964, so about Canton, between University and Indiana. We bought it, there was a renter in it. He already planned to leave because the person was selling, told him that get out, otherwise he would stay. We pulled out the flooring because it was pretty rough, so to be able to rent it, it really only needs flooring, though there are a couple windows that are cracked, so I'll probably replace a couple of the panes in the windows. Countertops are kind of rough, so you could, replace countertops also. It's a 3-bedroom, 1 bath. We're asking right now 89. But we are still kind of doing some things to it, so that price might change, but as of right now, we're asking 89 for a 3-1. 3-bedroom, 1 bath. The 1-car garage it still has a carport, but the 1-car garage was enclosed. It's got a fireplace in there, so the renter was using it as a bedroom actually.
So was it originally a 2-bedroom, 1 bath?
No, it was 3-bedroom, 1 bath. So with that, it was a 4-bedroom.
Okay, got it.
So
4-bedroom, 1 bath.
The layout is actually a 3-bedroom, 1 bath plus the room that's enclosed with fireplace. So rental on it, I haven't looked into it, but I'm guessing $1150.
It's in Cap Rock, 3-bedroom, 1 bath.
I'm sorry?
Cap Rock, 3-bedroom, 1 bath. They'll list it 1,000, 1,100, just follow on.
Yeah. Pending condition. But yes, that range, absolutely pending the condition.
Rehab, let's be safe, rehab.
Yep. Which sounds like you're rehabbing it, so there you go. Yeah.
We're kind of, we're not doing much.
Does it have overhead electrical?
Overhead electrical?
Yeah, it's all the max most of the time, there's no wiring in the attic.
Probably not, because there's not all that.
Okay. What type of roof does it have on it?
It's maybe the original. It's got the rocks.
Yeah.
That's on. Yeah.
Okay. Asking 89. Okay. Anyone else got any properties? All right. That's it. So again, we go to 7 guys, and so if y'all want to just stay around and network, that's where we're at this point. So feel free to talk with anyone.